this is pretty cool for us because we're both big fans of the brand. You own a Grand Seiko. I'm stupidly not wearing mine right now.
Shame.
But
shame.
yeah, SPGA 413. But
References.
we've got some new novelties from Grand Seiko.
Yes, we do.
So there's one collection in particular that they've really developed during Watches and Wonders, Evolution 9. Why don't you dig into Evolution 9 for us?
I mean, it's the future of the brand. It's what they're really focusing in on right now. And they've kind of given us a little bit of everything this time around. We get the chronograph, we get the beautiful GMT, and we also get a diver. So going into a little bit more detail, I'm gonna start with my love, the GMT.
Yes, you're a big GMT fan.
Oh yeah. In fact, I'm wearing a steel bezel GMT, and after these releases, I'm just telling myself, I might have to add another one or two to the collection. Because now we get a GMT with this beautiful steel bezel. You get two dial iterations. You have this nice black dial, but my favorite of the bunch, I have to say, is that white dial.
Yes.
Oh man, the texture on that dial is amazing. There's just something about a steel bezel that really highlights a dial, and I think in that package, it looks amazing. Moving on to the diver, another beautiful dial we see there. Beautiful black dial with some striations. I mean, we took pictures of that watch and we all just sit there with our mouths open.
Yeah.
And
our mouths dropped for a lot of the watches.
oh, and you're gonna hit the last one.
Yeah.
But before we go to that, we have the last model within that Evolution 9 series, and that would be our chronograph.
Yeah.
Little accents of blue, overall just a beautiful package. But I think we all kind of fawned and fanned out when we saw that amazing.
Yes. So before I jump into that, because it is very exciting, I just want to highlight a few more things about Evolution 9. So across the range, we've got titanium watches. Their high intensity titanium is very comfortable on the wrist, very lightweight, and scratch resistant as well. All of the watches Ricardo touched upon use spring drive calibers. Interestingly though, Evolution 9, it is the next generation of design, it's the future, but the only watch to utilize sort of a latest gen spring drive caliber is the
Come on.
the diver.
I know,
the dive watch.
We've seen a
5
lot of
days of
watches,
spring drive.
guys.
Yes, excuse me. So 5 days of power reserve. That being said, the other watches in the Evolution 9 collection, still very, very reliable, awesome spring drive movements. 72 hours of power reserve is certainly ample weekend proof. And of course, you know, highly accurate. They say within a second a day. One of the chronographs is actually, the limited edition, is regulated within half a second a day, specially adjusted as they refer to it. But to be frank, I've seen all of my Grand Seiko spring drives run within half a second a day. So expect some supreme accuracy. Now,
it's just giving me shivers just thinking about it, but you gotta.
The noises we were making when we saw this watch, you know, we could have had an NC-17 rating, let's just say, as we were looking at it. You know, when the 20th anniversary of Spring Drive in 2019 happened, they also debuted a concept caliber, the T0. It was a tourbillon caliber with a constant force mechanism on a single axis, but the concept did not necessarily meet the grammar of design principles that Grand Seiko must uphold. So we knew we were going to see this in a production watch at some point, but we didn't know what it would look like when Grand Seiko truly brought it up to their grammar of design principles. We did today.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh my.
Extraordinarily beautiful watch. When we talk Grand Seiko, usually we talk light and shadow, but now we have light, shadow, and space. So we still have this open work caliber, beautiful hand decorations, of course, highly complicated with the constant force tourbillon mechanism on a single axis, delivering 72 hours of power reserve. But I gotta be honest, as gorgeous as the dial is and the hand finishings, even the Dauphine hands, the small Dauphine hands on the sub dial, I was really blown away by the fact that we have a case that's not only 950 platinum, but also high intensity titanium. So they're giving us the precious metal, but they're also taking care of the daily wear sensibilities. Now, granted, this is a 370,000 euro watch, but astonishingly, as we've seen with Grand Seiko in other noble metals or precious metals, one of their principles really is robustness. So this watch, as complicated as it is, as hand decorated as it is, it's 100 meters water resistant.
Oh man, this is like the baller Grand Seiko. Like it is a kind of the drop the drawers type of Grand
Yeah,
Seiko. It is an amazing watch. I mean, from my perspective, actually getting some photography and getting some hands-on with that watch, it's just gorgeous, so much detail. Whoever is lucky enough to get their hands on one of these, you'll just be a happy camper.
Yeah. And it's a limited edition of 20, so there'll only be 20 lucky people to own it. I will be very, very green with envy. You know, I asked how much my kidneys were worth, but unfortunately that conversation couldn't go much further. So, you know, we'll have to figure it out. If I had a house to remortgage or something, maybe I'd give that a shot. But, you know, nonetheless, I'll be very happy for the 20 people who get this watch. It'll be a very, very interesting add to anyone's collection who's lucky enough to have it. And also, this watch, interestingly enough, debuts their new workshop, the Atelier Ginza. So, you know, very special craftsmen and women are working on this piece. And it'll be interesting to see how this segment develops, because you don't create something like this and just stop here. So perhaps there'll be more limited editions, or maybe even a standard production model down the line. But don't expect as high quantities as we see with perhaps the Evolution 9 models we were talking about earlier. Drop the mic, Grand Seiko, pretty awesome stuff. We'll see you on the next one.